2. Hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish-kristyn. Today, we are going to have ourselves a little WIP and Chatty rant. What is a WIP and Chatty rant? You may be asking yourself. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress, and Chatty rant is me chatting and ranting about the goings-on in my life over the past week or so. My WIP is The Last Supper by the artist Mariella Rinaldi from Art and Soul Diamonds. I am almost at the halfway mark. If this branding is centered, then this right here is the halfway mark. So I am close. Oh, now Duncan's going to help me. Thanks, bud. I am going to finish up to these cute release papers, and then I am not sure if I'm going to then completely flip the canvas on my easel and then work from the middle down, or start at the other end and then work my way to the middle. I am not really sure. I'm going to have to see what feels the less awkward positioning and bulky type things. It's going to be awkward no matter what, but you know, I don't want to be too awkward. So the release papers are from Bee's Crafty Corner. I will have a link in the description box for everything I talk about, so I don't have to keep saying link in the description box down below. So release papers will be there. This is from Ephemera 3D. Loving this bright tray. Loving. This is my AB pen. It is a Amazon pen with a very old glue dot in this end, and then a bunch of glue dots in this end. And I have used the same pen for 2 paintings now without changing the glue dot. Every once in a while I kind of stab at it and, you know, poke at it to kind of refresh it, but it's got so much AB coating on it that it doesn't rip off the AB coating on the current ones that I am using. This is a brand new tray that I was enabled to purchase from, what was it, Instagram. And this is from, hang on, here is the name. It is Print Aw Sable 3D. And I could have, maybe Print Usable? I don't know. I'm going to butcher it. I just got it yesterday. I'm not sure what this goopy thing is right there. It is a rainbow gradient, and I gotta say, I was a little bummed because in the pictures, it showed it to be more like pinky purpley, kind of like this. And this color is giving me flesh tone vibes, which is always a risky run when you get something 3D printed that has like a gradient filament. It just, you never know. So maybe I will try to use this tray today. It does have this little, it's a little stiff thingy-mabobber, like a little spout hatch, if you will, that you can slide it to close it and then open it. So we will see. And I normally don't use the lids, so again, if that could have been the middle, like the inside, like the purpley bluey, that would have been my first choice, but nobody asked me. Pippy the Crafty Peep sticker. You know where the information for that is. Not going to say it. What else? Oh, I did get a cute card and some stickers from Jill and Tom at Diamond Painting with the Edwards. I will have their info in the spot. Super cute, and some cute little stickers. I'm going to move that so I don't stick them on this sticky part of my canvas. And what else? What regular pen am I going to use? Oh, I think I will use this pen right here. That's right. I had a custom pen made. This is from, I'll just pull this one right here. It was a busy shopping day yesterday from the mailman. KnSCustom Pens, also on Etsy. And I sent them my Pippy pool party Pippy image, and I said, you know, some kind of teal watery looking background. I was a little afraid, gotta be honest, that I didn't get like a picture or anything before it got mailed out. I was like, oh, okay, well, but it looks fabulous. It does look like it may have been like bumped or something in shipment. It's not going to affect the usability of the pen. And for 15 bucks, I consider that an amazing deal. I did put my own multi-placer on the end, Alien Putty, obviously. And I had 2 more made. That's right, there are only 3 of these pens out there in the entire world, and technically they all are different. So this one has more of a blue, that one has a blue area as well, but it's not as blue. So I am going to do a giveaway times 2. So in the little giveaway package, there's going to be a custom pen, either this tray or this tray. This is from Yellow Dog Designs. I really like this tray, but I cannot really do dark trays. And I don't know why I ordered it in this purple color, but my stupidity is your potential gain. It has this cool feature where this comes on and off. So if you're pouring, it helps keep your drills not from spilling all over. And there is, yeah, I'm gonna take that off. There is a tray stuffer right there. So very cool, very high quality. Again, I've tried using it so many times and I can't do it. And then the other tray is a white cat-proof tray. You've probably seen me struggle with this tray in previous videos. And I think it's because I'm left-handed. I really do. Or I can't figure it out. But again, my loss is your gain. So this has a cool, like 3D printed silicone-y, stretchy, soft lid. And of course I can't do it on camera, but I promise you it does fit. So your bundle will come with a pen, a tray, and then of course a few pieces of Bee's Crafty Corner release papers. There will be 3 glossy Pippy's Pool Party, 3 hologram Pippy's Pool Party, and 3 of the custom paper that I had made. So I will give you guys a word to use later on in the video. And so you just need to use the word in a sentence somehow, just don't just write like, I would love to win this thing, because if scammers are watching, they're jerks. Let's not let them win the fun stuff that other people who actually, want to participate and whatnot want to win. So let me get zoomed in and I will be right back. We are back. We are zoomed. We have reorganized. The cat has tried to steal my pen bags. So let me pick a color. Let's do number 4. All right, we're going to try the new tray. We are going to try. So first impressions, because I literally opened this yesterday and maybe I should close the little thingy while I'm shaking it. That might be the smart thing. Okay, now to open it. Well, let's maybe shake them down that way. I do think it's funny though. Every tray has their spouts. If they're like not a tray that has the thing on the inside, it's always to that side. Okay, there we go. And I think that just has to loosen up over time. So they did line up nicely. What number am I doing? Give me one of those days where I don't know what I'm working on. Alrighty. I hope everybody is doing well, and if you're not doing well, then I hope you can at least be slightly distracted by my ramblings for the next hour, to help you kind of, forget some of the stuff that's going on. I'd say it's like a hard time of year, but I think every time of year is hard. Oh, I need to turn on the autofocus. Hang on. Okay, did it change and look amazing? I hope so. People will say, oh, the holidays, it's a hard time of year for people. I think every time of year is hard. I mean, I know personally for me, not putting words in other people's mouths, but if I really sat down and looked at a calendar, I could point out hard things that have happened in every month or in every season or around every holiday if you really want to think about it. So I try not to just generalize a certain time of year as a hard time of year. Like I think of, May, June as definitely being busy times of year. But I don't know. I don't want to think about them as hard times of year because I don't want to then think like, well, every May or every June's going to be hard or every December is going to be hard because, I don't know. I don't know how to word what's in my old noggin, but yeah. I mean, I think at any given moment, somebody is going through a hard time. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. It just, adulting is tough. Diamond painting updates. Oh, cats are fighting. Awesome. I finished the Cheer Bear canvas. Yay. It looks amazing. Okay, I gotta just poking at my alien putty because I should have probably stabbed at it a little before I started, but I did not. Cheer Bear is done. Cheer Bear is fabulous. Oh my goodness. I will put a picture, in the picture place in the corner or something. You can see how truly fabulous it is. I will be getting that dry mounted at Michael's probably. And I will put it next to my strawberry shortcake canvas that's right above my diamond painting area. But I don't know, like my problem is I'm always like, well, I should wait until I have this other canvas finished because I'm going to want to dry mount that. Because I would like to also get this one dry mounted, so I should probably wait just so I'm not constantly going back and forth to Michael's if I don't have to. I mean, Michael's isn't that far from us. It's, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, but still. And I would say it's because I just don't want to go shop, but our Michael's never has anything diamond painting related. Usually they're, what is it, the Make Market brand? It's always completely picked over and sad. So I'm usually not tempted when I go to Michael's because our Michael's just, it never has anything. And I don't know if all the Make Markets are round kits or if some of them are round, some are square. From all what I've seen at, okay, that's okay. Learning lesson right there. If you're going to shake it to the side where the side is open, maybe close up the little spout thing. That's good to know because that is very flat with the bottom of the tray. That is one thing I like about the Ephemera 3D tray is there is a little ridge right there, and the spout also kind of curves up a little, so it doesn't do that. But again, why don't I close the tray and then it won't be an issue. Yeah, I don't know. Our Michael's never has anything that I'm interested in, which is good, so then I save money. And I mean, I don't need any more diamond paintings, so and I kind of feel like too, I'm at the point where I have so many already that if I am going to buy one, it needs to be, very special or definitely something I want to do, not just stress buying. Because I know I do some stress buying when I'm stressed out. I really hope that the cat is not playing with something he's not supposed to play with. I hear rustling, which is never good. I'm not going to investigate, but yet. Okay. So Cheer Bear, finished. This, we're almost at the halfway mark. Fantastic. Have not touched the conversions. I did film a kit up video. I think I actually did that last week. I'm all confused about like what I've talked about and what I've done at this point. For the 3 round drill canvases that I got from Joe at Meow and Forever, and I will have that info, you know, in the spot that I talked about. And that is about it for progress and things that have gone on. So since I finished Cheer Bear, I think it was Wednesday. Oh, okay. Now I need to make sure that I open the spout back up. Okay. I've just been working on this one because I would like to get a good chunk of it done before June, because there are several events that I'm officially, unofficially participating in. I don't really want to participate in any events. Looking for a color. Let's do O. That, you know, I'm kind of, and I say I'm kind of doing them, right? Kind of doing DP for pets. You know, I don't know if I'll actually fill out the Google form or just, you know, diamond paint along. Okay, why are you being a turd? Ugh, it never does this. Okay, so again, I'm just trying to loosen it up. I think I don't know what I did to this pen, but yeah, so DP for pets, unofficially probably. I don't know if I'll fill out the Google form. I don't need to win prizes. The more official I participate in something, the more I stress myself out. So if I just kind of unofficially participate, then it's cool. And then there is, what else? Oh my gosh, I can't even focus my brain on, I think it's Diamond Grandma or Diamonds by Tita. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Something about flowers. So the painting I'm doing for DP for Pets is the Folk Deer from the one with the diamond art. And so there are flowers in that. Fantastic. And what else? There's a few more that I was going to multitask, you know, unofficially, of course. Oh, yes. And Mushy at Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting is doing a food related kind of unofficial paint along for fun. And since my painting has a deer in it, that counts as food. And there's probably some other ones that I just can't remember right now, and that's totally fine. The goal is to have fun and enjoy doing your craft. And if your craft becomes stressful, then you need to reevaluate why it's becoming stressful. And for me, sometimes that's trying to participate in events and putting pressure on myself to finish, especially when, you know, things require a new start and a new finish, or not a new finish. They require a start and a finish, a new start and a finish. Yes, words are hard today, guys. Words are hard. You know, because I don't want to start too many new paintings all at once. I mean, I do love to kit things up, and I do love to start things, but then, you know, you actually got to finish them. I don't want to have 15 canvases started and not finished. Number one, I don't got enough storage for that. But I also think I would get into, what do they call that? Decision paralysis, where you have too many decisions and then you just can't make any decisions. And I think me trying to do too many paintings and having, like, you know, 10 things started, not finished, would fall under that category. So let's see, I did not oh, hopefully that has not been like making a bunch of noise. My what do you call it? Sweatshirt string just fell on the microphone. That's gonna be lovely. I didn't buy anything else besides the tray and the pens and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we have 3 weeks left of school. 3 weeks. That's it. Which I know for some people they're already out or they're almost out. Washington is a little weird in the factor that, Like sometimes we start before Labor Day, sometimes we start after Labor Day. It literally depends on the school district. And a lot of times we don't get out until mid-June. And if there's a bunch of snow days or, makeup days, then we will be going until almost the end of June. There have been times. And it's unhappy parents and unhappy children, because summer times, are the time where we get to, potentially go on family vacations or trips, or go see, other family members in other states, without missing a bunch of school, because, you can only miss a certain amount of school days before the school starts harassing you and telling you like, oh no, your kid's gonna suffer because they're missing school. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but your school district calendar sucks, so what am I supposed to do? So I don't tell the school that, but actually I should not. I'm not complaining, because my kids' schools are better than some of the ones around us, for sure. Because we're in a private school, they can kind of make, their own schedule, which is nice. And they make sure to not start until the Wednesday after Labor Day. But the district that I'm supposed to be in, they are starting, I think, August 24th or 23rd this year, which I'm like, why do you hate the families in your school district so much? I don't understand that at all. And think of the poor teachers who have to be there and doing training and setting up their classrooms, a week in advance or whatever. I mean, they're going until maybe like June 17th or something, and then they have to start August 23rd. Like, that is barely 2 months. No, thank you. No, thank you. But so my thing right now is, okay, we just had Teacher Appreciation Week, which, again, thank you, teachers and teaching staff, school staff, for all that you do. Love you all so much, and I could not teach my children at home alone. But I gave all of the teachers, Amazon gift cards and stuff like that for Teacher Appreciation Week. So am I still supposed to do an end of the year teacher gift? Even though it was just Teacher Appreciation Week and I gave everybody, like $25 Amazon cards? Because if that's the case, I mean, just for my son's school, there's three people in the office and then 7 teachers. So that was, that was a nice chunk of change for sure. And I'm not saying that the teachers aren't worth it by any means, but I don't really know what the protocol is. I mean, why is Teacher Appreciation Week so close to the end of the school year? Like, I feel like we should be giving them some extra love and attention, maybe halfway through the school year. But again, I don't know. Nobody asked me. It's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, do I have to go back and buy more Amazon cards, or, make something? I don't know. I don't want to make people food, because so many of the teachers and, people have, food restrictions, or, food allergies, or, they take certain medications, or they have certain health things that, they shouldn't be eating something. So I don't really want to make food, like homemade treats. As amazing as that is, I mean, I love getting homemade treats, but not everybody feels that way. I don't know. I'm already overwhelmed, so it's just like one more thing my brain has to try to focus on. Oh my gosh! I just realized I've only had coffee this morning. I haven't had anything else to drink. That Dr. Pepper tastes amazing. Okay, what color are we doing? Let's do this little hazmat symbol. And of course it's all the last minute things, like all the last minute projects and all the last minute this and all the, the special dress up days and, finals and final projects and turn in your work before this dates. And it's like, I'm exhausted and I'm not even the one in school. like we're having an all-school barbecue on, what was it, the 7th? And I'm like, really? Friday? A Friday at 11:45, you know? I mean, technically, pardon you, cat. I think he just scared himself. He knocked his scratching post over. You know, I mean, not every parent can just, you know, take off in the middle of the day to help out with the barbecue. So I try to help with those things when I can. Just because, I mean, granted, nobody's going to let me man the barbecue by any means. Good God. I'm not allowed to touch stuff like that. It's for everyone's safety. But yeah, I don't know. And then it's that weird, okay, why are you, seriously. Putty has been working just fine. And then turn on the camera and it goes into Stupidville. I don't know what I was saying. Something about a barbecue. I don't remember, but yeah. So I will help where I can. All right, got that. So when school stops, you know, it's like, okay, great. Now we have absolutely no schedule, which is something that I do not thrive in. I do not thrive in no schedule. Land, world, whatever you want to call it, it is not my favorite. I always feel like I'm in a constant state of like not knowing what's going on because everybody around me is indecisive and then they decide last minute they want to do something. And I'm like, my brain doesn't work like that. But I'm trying to be better about it because not everybody is like me where they want things planned out, you know, a week in advance and all that jazz. But still. So by the time I finally get into a routine with summertime and, you know, this and that, then school will start and I will have to reprogram my brain all over again. That is just how it works. And I don't know why I feel such dread when it comes to summertime. Like, yes, the schedule part is part of it, but I think some of that has to do with the factor that when I was in elementary school, you know, both my parents worked. We didn't, you know, they both worked. So I had to go to daycare during the day, during the summer, because I was not old enough to stay home by myself, which, you know, is fair. But I hated going to daycare because it was an in-home daycare and all the older kids would have to go outside after lunch so the little kids could nap. Well, we had to go outside regardless of what the weather is. And I don't do, pardon you, cat? I don't do heat very well. And so when it was really sunny, there was not a lot of shade in their yard. And so I was just miserable. I hated going to daycare. And, you know, some of the kids were, you know, bossy and you have different personalities. I mean, it's a good life lesson of learning how to, you know, be around other people. But yeah, no. So daycare, I think, potentially ruined summer break for me because, you know, we didn't go and do a bunch of things. We went camping like Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. Other than that, we didn't go to Disneyland. We didn't go to Hawaii. We didn't go to the Caribbean. We didn't go on a cruise. We didn't do any of that stuff during the summertime. So the summertime was literally just me going to daycare every stinking day and feeling like I was getting heat stroke. I wasn't, but, you know. I've always been a tad dramatic. So I remember 5th grade. Oh, 5th grade. I mean, it was bad because I gotta put this trash drill somewhere. My dad had to have back surgery because he had some, what do they call them, slip discs or something like that. And they scheduled it for summer break. And that meant my dad was home from work for almost the entire summer break because he couldn't go to work because, you know, slip disc thing. So I got to stay home and I didn't have to go to daycare. And that was like, oh, sugar biscuits, come on, get it together. I didn't have to go to daycare. And plus, it saved my mom and dad money because they didn't have to send me to all day daycare because my dad was home and I was, you know, semi-functional. So that was like so exciting. So freaking exciting. I just remember being like, I don't have to go to daycare. Yeah. Highlight of my summer right there. Didn't have to get up at, you know, 7 a.m. and get dressed and go to daycare. I could sleep in. I could eat my cereal slowly, you know, go see the friends in the neighborhood, all that jazz. It was, I mean, obviously, I didn't really realize like that my dad was probably in pain, you know, because I was a kid and I was selfish, and that's what we do. We just, you know, think about ourselves when we're kids, or at least I did. Not trying to classify anyone in any other situation, but I was totally selfish, and I realize that now. As an adult. Okay. Go in there. Okay, I'm gonna use this tray because I am just gonna struggle using that tray on camera, and I do not need to be doing that. Let's do these little orange peas. Yes, so we finished, had the landscaping, all the stuff is finished outside. But and I don't know if it's just me being overly critical. Okay, those. But I feel like when I'm paying someone to do a job, right? As one does, you know, I guess I just expect a certain level of doneness, you know, and then I'm like, well, maybe I misinterpreted what we said about this area or this area. But so backstory, our flower beds and all this stuff was completely filled in with weeds and grass and just is a mess. And so my main concern was that people were going to come in and not get all of the, you know, the roots out of the ground. Because, I mean, I've gone out there so many times and did this and it just comes back. So that's my number one concern. And I was told, no, if they do this and they put this gravel on top of here and they do this, then, you know, it'll be fine. And it's like, okay, you know, I'm trying to trust the process because I have no experience with, you know, professional type things like that. But in the gravel area where they basically leveled and scraped off a bunch of weeds and stuff, I'm already seeing a few weeds poking through the gravel. And I thought that we had said that they were going to put 3 inches of this stabby, pokey, big rock gravel. There are not 3 inches. There's maybe a inch. And I can see little weedy parts, some weeds poking out of it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do. And I don't like confrontation, so I don't really want to like reach out and ask, but I'm going to have to because I paid a crap ton of money. And I mean, if the weeds are going to come back like less than 2 weeks, then I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth. And then there's also some areas in the flower beds. So this is the gravel area where we park. And there's some areas where I see some little grassy bits kind of sticking out from under the mulch. And I was told that, you know, yeah, you get most of it, but what you do is you just keep piling mulch on top of it. Why? I don't know what is up with my cats today. Seriously. So I guess the answer is to smother it with mulch. Okay. I mean, they did take a lot of the weeds and the grass out, I will say. I did see them do that. But then I still see some little bits still there, and so I just like, I don't want to deal with this crap. I have enough going through my brain at like a 90-mile-an-hour pace. I don't want to think about more stuff and sit there and go, well, I had this done, but now I have to go out and weed already? I mean, no thank you. That's why I had people come and do this. Help me get it under control. So if I do have to go out there, I'm not, you know, slaving away and doing all that jazz. because I can't be out there for hours on end. After an hour of pulling weeds, my hand literally will feel like it's going to fall off. Like I lose all strength in it if I do that. Just because a lot of the weeds and the grass in our yard, it takes so much force to pull it up and out. And yeah. Oh, lovely. It's always so nice when you see people racing down the road in the rain. Like, could you not get into an accident in front of my house? Because I do not want to deal with that shite. No, thank you. So I don't know what to do. I mean, I know what I need to do, but I just, I don't want to. So we had to buy more plants because we have the area by our fence line and it's, nope, I didn't get all the pluses. What am I doing? So we needed to fill in the area basically so the weeds don't come back. And we've been meaning to buy plants, but we couldn't put plants in because it was so grown over, blah, blah, blah. So we went to this nursery that's just down the street from our house. And it's been a few years since I bought bushes or plants. And originally we were thinking of putting in some laurel bushes because they get, hedgy, wallish. Yeah, no, because the laurels that they recommended we buy were like $200 a plant. And I was like, I know. So we were, trying to figure out, okay, what else can we buy? And we live in the land of rhododendrons. So rhododendrons are always a good choice. But, I don't really know how to read the tags on the plants. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And this nursery is so busy. And all the employees are basically guiding people up to the registers and, showing people, you go to this one, you go to this one. So there's nobody to actually ask questions to. And when you are a plant novice / killer like myself, that's not good. I shouldn't be left to my own devices because I'm just going to get overwhelmed and I'm just going to leave, which is kind of what happened. We couldn't find anyone to ask questions to. And so I did buy a few succulents for my little succulent area. And I think we bought one rhododendron plant because I could kind of figure that out. And I know we need full, has to be able to withstand, the full sun temps and all that jazz. So we did buy a few things, but we did leave after that because I'm like, I don't know. There's nobody to ask questions to. I don't know what I'm doing. And if I'm going to be spending, $100 for one stupid bush, it needs to make sure that it's the right bush. You know what I mean? So we went to a different nursery because, there's a lot of nurseries around us apparently. And this one was less busy. And the man helping us was super helpful. He walked around with us. He even pulled the little wagon basket cart thingy for me after I filled up the first one with things. And he's, asking questions. And, he's like, okay, how much maintenance do you want to put into this? And I was like, none. Literally none. And he's like, well, you can't just put none. And I said, I want to put as little as possible. And he said, you're going to have to water things for a few years, in the summertime, just so, they don't die. But, I will help you with things that are low maintenance. And I was like, okay, perfect. So, but at that one, the prices were a little bit harder to read on the plants. And so he was so helpful and I wasn't even thinking about prices. So we're just walking around, putting stuff on the cart, getting some ground cover things, just, add to cart, whatever. Well, then we get up to the front and it was just me and my husband. And so he started listing off the prices because he was scanning them. And then this other lady was watching the computer to make sure they showed up. And he was scanning prices. And my husband's eyes just got huge. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm like, oh, that's more than I would have thought. And the guy's like, are you okay? He goes, we can put stuff back. You don't have to get it. And my husband's like, no, it's fine. He's kind of walked away. I'm like, just ring it up really fast and don't say the prices out loud, okay? He doesn't like spending money. So, yeah. But we got home. I mean, in the back of the car was full of stuff, right? So I'm like, yeah, we did good. We did great. Look at how full the back of the car is. Like, we're going to be good. And we get home and we take everything out. And I'm like, that does not look like as many plants as for the amount of money we spent. It does not look like an equal plant to spending ratio by any means. So hopefully it's enough to fill in the space that needs to be filled in. And hopefully I won't need to buy any more plants because holy moly, that was, yeah. It's like, good God. And I swear, we bought plants when we first moved into this house like 7, 8 years ago. They were not that expensive. So just like everything else, prices have gone up. Oh my goodness. Hope you didn't hear me just like chugging that, but okay, what color are we gonna do next? I don't want to do that one because that's an AB and it's a pain. Did I already do 9? Let's do A. Let's do the A. Okay, it's so rainy and gross outside. I still have planters that I need to replant and re-zhuzh up because I had a lot of outside planters and they needed their dirt to be kind of topped off and refreshed, and then some new plants added. And I mean, they're all succulents, so they're all like, you know, low maintenance, hardy style plants. It's just they need a little love because I pretty much neglected them all year last year. So, but I have it all under our carport because it was raining on Saturday when we went to the nursery, and I was trying to replant some things, but yeah. And now I can't park my car under the carport, and it's freaking raining. I'm like, it's almost June, and it's raining all aggressively outside, and I have to park out in the back 40. Just come on, people. Get it together. Okay. So, the word for the giveaway, the word that you need to put into the comment of your typing to be entered into the giveaway. The word is going to be fake. F-A-K-E. Fake. Use it in a sentence. Please and thank you. And I will close the giveaway. When is the cutoff time? Let's look at a calendar. Let's see. My son's birthday is Monday. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are going to say, after some internal struggle, I'm going to say the cutoff day for the giveaway is June 1st. June 1st, midnight Pacific time is the last day that you can add a comment and all the jazz. So, put in a comment with the word fake. So, the reason why I chose that word, I know you're wondering, is it goes along with my next little rant, if you will. I was watching the YouTube, as I do, because it's pretty much all I watch. And it was a video, and I can't remember who the video was by. If I can, I will put it below. But it was saying, it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing saying that, you know, we're all ugly, right? Compared to the, you know, the beauty standards of today. Like, we're all ugly. And how, you know, it was saying like how, you know, people, like mainly women, because most people don't call men ugly. It's usually women are ugly, women are this, like the unrealistic beauty standards that we are forced upon us. But it was saying how it's very interesting how, you know, things that were praised for beauty back in different time periods would now be considered like ugly. So, for example, you know, people used to have, you know, pale fair skin used to be praised because in society that meant you had money and you didn't have to go out and, you know, labor. And I'm not saying any of these are my thoughts or opinions. I'm just repeating what the internet told me. Because if you were rich, then you could pay people to go out and do the things for you outside. So you could sit inside and you could be pale, and you know, that was looked upon very highly, like, oh, you are better than everyone else because you're pale. So another thing that they mentioned, which I just laughed about because now is so not the case, was that you know, the plumper you were, the the more desirable you were, and you know, the more society looked upon you as being a higher caliber of human being, because if you were plumper, that obviously meant that you could eat. Go figure, right? So you could, you had food that could nourish your body. You could eat to the point where, like, you probably shouldn't be eating anymore, but you still could eat. You know, your family wasn't starving. Nowadays, like, you know, you're 5 pounds overweight and it's just like everybody's a porker and they're obese and disgusting, you know, and for what society makes people think. But back then that was like, oh my gosh, look at her curves, you know, look at her chins. She has 2 chins. Like, obviously she's better than the rest of us. Now, you know, you have like 5 pounds on you and it's like, nope, none of these clothes are gonna fit. Guess that crop top at Target is gonna not be for you or whatever, which I'm sorry, but nobody needs to be wearing a crop top as far as I'm concerned. That's just me. What else? And there were other things like with a strong chin, you know, a nose with a prominent ridge on it used to mean, you know, that you were from a regal bloodline and, you know, this and that. And it was just, it was very interesting because, you know, then you see pictures. The girl was doing pictures of like, okay, here's what Marilyn Monroe looked like. You know, she was hailed as being, you know, amazing and voluptuous and all this. And if Marilyn Monroe had to adhere to today's beauty standards, this is what she would look like. And it looked so wrong because, you know, she had the fake giant lips and the, you know, the giant, what is it, like, you know, the eyes looked bigger, you know, the face was like super, you know, pulled tight, and tiny little like bird nose, and just, you know, and it's not that any of these people who do this to their body, like, or their faces, it's not that they look bad, it's just they all are starting to look the same. And that's what the video was kind of going into, was that, you know, why do we all want to look like everyone else? You know, all these celebrities that have these giant, you know, platforms, and people, better or worse, look up to these celebrities as role models. And then girls see these models saying, no, I didn't do anything. I just grew into my lips. My lips just grew. My boobs just grew. And I never had surgery. And then they finally come out 5-10 years later and say, oh yeah, I did have my boobs done. I did have my nose shaved down. I didn't just grow into it. It's like, no, you're hurting more people than you're helping by lying. I mean, if you want to have plastic surgery or whatever, like, fine, just, you know, own up to it, because it's just, you know, I feel like there's so much thrown at us nowadays with, like, this person looks this way and this, that, and, you know, there's the Instagram filters. And so even if you're having like a phone conversation with somebody and it's like a video call, there's still gonna be a filter on their face. So it's not even what they look like. And another video I was watching, they were talking about how guys are shocked that when girls take off their makeup, that they don't look the same. Because we've been so conditioned that if we want to get a man, or, you know, whatever, that you have to have, you know, your nose contoured and your eyes, lined and like your lips plumped and, pouted and just, oh, like they were saying, like guys are actually shocked that, when they have a girlfriend and they see their girlfriend or whatever without makeup for the first time, how different it is because, again, we're basically told like, oh, you have freckles. Oh, that's wrong. You need to cover those. Or your lips aren't poofy enough, so you need to put on this stuff that's going to make them all, fluffy and like look like hemorrhoids. Like, I don't understand. I guess I feel like I'm lucky that I kind of missed some of that growing upness, like with the ability to manipulate images and things like that. I mean, there was Photoshop, obviously, but it was mainly just in like a magazine or something. It wasn't real life. And now, like with plastic surgery being so easy to do, it's like nobody looks individual anymore. And I mean, and if you want to get plastic surgery, like I am not shading people who get plastic surgery. Like if you want to do it because you have something you want to change, like go for it. It's just I hate the fact that so many people who don't need it think that they need it because they feel like society is telling them that there's something wrong with their face or their body, when there's nothing wrong with their face or their body. That is what God literally birthed them to do. Like, that is what they look like. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not to say, like, if I had something that really, really, really bothered me, like, I might get plastic surgery. I don't know. I'm too scared to get surgery. So, I don't think it'll be happening to me. But never say never. I guess my point is, like, my rambling, obviously. Just, everybody, there's so much thrown at us, and not just as like young people, but even as adults. It's so overwhelming. And I feel like, our feelings and our body image things are just, we're so fragile sometimes. And so seeing, people basically like, oh no, I just have good genes. It's just like, sometimes it's a big old letdown, I mean, as a kid, I was a little chubby. I'm still chubby. I mean, and maybe if I would have ate healthier, maybe exercised and moved more, like maybe I wouldn't have been chubby. But, then you see people who, yeah, there are people who have amazing metabolisms and they can eat whatever they want, blah, blah, blah. But, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but it really stuck out to me about how people who were deemed like gorgeous and amazing back in the day would just be considered average now. I think they use Farrah Fawcett as an example too. And like, I mean, dude, how many people had that poster on their walls? I mean, I don't think my dad had that poster, but I remember we had friends. My mom and dad had friends, and in their basement where us kids hung out, there was a Farrah poster in the bathing suit. I always was like, why is she so cold? Because, I didn't understand that was like probably purposeful, that it looked like she was cold. So yeah. But anyways, you all are amazing just the way you are. And don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough, or that your nose is too big, or your cheeks are too puffy, or your cheeks aren't puffy enough. So we all need to help each other self-love and appreciate what we have. So there we go. There's my pep talk of the day. Okay, what else? Oh my gosh, we had to go to a birthday party for one of my son's friends at a virtual reality place. And it's not in an area, I didn't know where the place was, and I didn't really know the area because it's one of those areas that kind of just pops up. Like, it used to just be a field, and now it's apartments and condos with shops below it. Very confusing. So yeah, I didn't quite know where we were going. We had Google Maps up, but Google Maps decided to mess with me because Google Maps hates me. So it was taking me like a completely different wrong way. I mean, I didn't quite know where I was going, but I knew we weren't going the right way. So we finally get there, and they had to be there 15 minutes early to sign in and to fill out the waiver and to get trained at how to reality and the virtual. So we got to the parking garage, and I was driving, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no parking. The parking garage is just so confusing because, again, I have no sense of direction. So everything is confusing when it comes to directions and where am I? Where did I park? So my husband's like, you guys get out, go walk to the place, and I will meet you there. And I'm like, that's perfect. So we hop out of the car, we walk through the parking garage, and we walk out in this one area, and I'm like, I don't know where the place is because I've never been there. And it's very confusing because it's all these tall buildings that are apartments and office complexes. And then there's all these, like coffee shops and ice cream shops and athletic shops and tons of fitness places too. I'm like, these people must be amazing and like super in shape who live around here. I didn't know where to go. I was trying to look it up on the like directory, but there's no directory outside, so I'm trying to Google it. So finally, we walk around the corner, and my husband is standing outside because he had already parked the car and found where the place was by the time I did, with all the other kids and their parents, and they're all just looking at us like, "Where the hell have you been?" And I'm like, "Dude, how am I supposed to know where to go? Like, I've never been here." But yeah, so that's embarrassing, but I'm used to it. We got there with plenty of time to spare, got signed in. They had to teach the kids how to use the monitors, not the monitors, but like they have like a virtual reality face thingy bobber, and they put these things on their ankles and their wrists, and then they have a vest that kind of like, senses being shot and stuff like that. But yeah, it's too bad because like it looked really cool. But after all is said and done, you only really get 30 minutes of active, virtual reality time. So yeah, I mean, I could tell the kids were all like wanted to do more, but you only pay for an hour, and I was not about to spend $50-something for another hour, and you have to pre-book and all this other stuff. So no, thank you. But it was so funny because one of the kids that was invited, he is a screamer. When I say screamer, I mean he screams. I have heard him scream at various like virtual reality 3D type stuff before, and he screams. And so he was there, and I'm just going to call him Jim. So the second the lights went down and the shooting started and the zombie started, it sounded like a group of like girls was being murdered, and all these other people were kind of like, they would kind of walk by their area and look into the little room, and it looks like nothing in the room. People can just walk by, and you see, the group of people, and they can't see what the people see on the screen, if that makes sense. There is one little tiny like monitor that we could watch and kind of get an idea of what they're battling and whatnot. But yeah, so people are like, is he okay? Is she okay in there? And we're like, yeah, that's a guy. But, but it was hilarious. So every single video like I took of, because it looks really stupid because the kids are just standing there, and it's in this white room, and they're all kind of like stabbing and like pointing, a gun at things, but it's nothing, like you can't see anything. But every single video is just full of him screaming. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But they all had a good time. That is what matters. So, and I'm not making fun of anyone for screaming. If I was in that position, I probably would be screaming because the zombies were coming for me as well. But I feel like I've seen enough zombie TV show type things that I would be somewhat prepared, hopefully. Hopefully. I would just hide behind someone else, and hopefully they would get, shot or eaten, and then I could be safe. So there's that. All right, I'm gonna try to finish up. I don't think that's not the right one. Wait, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. All right. Nope. It is not the right one. I knew it was a teal something or other. There are, I think, one or two colors or symbols on this kit that are a little bit too similar for my liking, but nothing to the point where I've completely screwed up and had to take off diamonds. So I consider that a win. There's that. Oops. Okay, where did it go? It's right there. Right there. For some reason, my putty is not hanging onto the drills, and I do not know why. It may be time to take it out and twist it around and refresh it. Is there any more of these that I can see? Yes, there is one. There's one right there. There is that. Go in there. There's that. Okay, I'm going to do one more color, and then I'm going to have to close up shop because I'm going to have to go and pick up children. I always thought it would be one of my kids that ruined my couch and not myself. But I was watching YouTube last week and I was trying to put on my new nails, and normally I have a blanket and I put the blanket over my lap and it's kind of covering everything. But for some reason I was sitting weird. I was sitting on like the edge of the couch and I had the iPad kind of leaned one way and I was watching stuff, and I was putting the kind of the base coat, the sticky stuff on, and I don't know what happened, but I tipped my hand and then I dropped the bottle of, I mean, it's not quite clear. It's kind of got a bluish green tint to it. So I kind of dropped it, and then I tried picking it up, and then I flipped it around and it landed all over my leg and my sock and the couch. So naturally I freaked out because, you know, nail polish on the couch is not a good thing. And even though I think the couch was like scotch guarded or something, I don't know if nail polish really, you know, and that was like 5 years ago. So I don't know if you have to redo that. I don't really know. So my first thought was, what do you do for nail polish on the couch? Because are you allowed to use nail polish remover on a couch? Or will that ruin the coloring and all that stuff? I wasn't sure. So I got a bunch of like wet rags and I was trying to dab and wipe, and then I just kind of smeared it, and it already had really soaked into the, you know, the fabric. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going to try the nail polish remover. That didn't really help. So I just kind of kept scrubbing at it and hoping I was trying to like soften the stiffness. You know what I mean? Like, because when you still nail polish on something, it gets a little stiff. Yeah. Well, spoiler alert, there's like a weird little blob on the couch cushion. But nobody has seemingly noticed it. So I wanted to make sure it was fully dry before I did anything. So now I'm just going to flip the couch cushion over. And when someone else flips it over at a different time and notices it, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody spilled nail polish on, somebody spilled something on the couch. I don't know what that is. I am not above throwing someone else under the bus if it means that my husband doesn't go, I told you not to do your nails on the couch. So, shh, it's our little secret. So, that is going to be it. As you can see, I got some done in my little section. And obviously this is, you know, turn this way. I don't know if I said this earlier, but I will put a picture in maybe the beginning or right here of what this actually looks like at this time. It's looking pretty cool. I think Jesus is somewhere over here because he's in the middle, and this is the middle, so he should be in this general area. That is it. Don't forget to answer the comment. Put in the comment the word fake and use it in a sentence to be entered into one of 2 Pippy the Crafty Peep pen prize bundle giveaways. And I will be back very, very soon with another video that's already been pre-recorded. And ow! Ow, that hurt. It felt like a weird popping noise in my hand. Oh, jeez. All right. That is my signal to be done. So thank you for watching, for hanging out with me. See you guys again very soon. Big awkward hugs. Bye, guys.